Hi everyone, my name is Sébastien Lagree. I'm the creator and founder of Lagree Fitness. Today I want to talk about the cables. We're getting a lot of questions about the long black cables and the short red cables. So I want to clear this confusion. A lot of people are buying megaformers for the studios, but also for at home. So I want to clear this confusion because on the website, we have the black cables and the red cables. So the red cables, they're actually shorter than the black cables. So we also refer them to the short red cable, and we refer to the black cables as the long black cables. And I'm going to hang them right over here side by side so you can see the difference right over here. Don't worry about the pulleys. As you can see, the red cable is significantly shorter when you order a megaformer. I recommend both because they both use differently. The long black cable is going to essentially attach at the carriage, and you're going to attach the pulley right by the handle. And then the other end, you're going to put the foot strap and you're going to hang the foot strap on the carriage. So the long black cable is essentially used for all the cable exercise with the carriage. So what are those exercises? There are literally hundreds of exercises. So super lunge, chest opener, sexy back, kneeling torso twist, mega lift, all these exercise, you're going to need these cables to do the exercise. The short red cables are going to be attached further back on the machine, and these are used to do the exercise on the back of the machine, right? And usually with these cables, red cables, you're going to attach the red handle. You don't have to have the different colors. I highly recommend it if you're going to operate in a studio environment. I recommend you have at least the two different colors. We can do both of them black. We can do these also in gray or different colors if you want to. There might be a price difference, for customized colors, but the idea is to have a quick reference. So the difference of the color is nice to see that. Some studios like to have everything in black, so they have short black cables and long black cables. And, it makes it a little harder to spot, in the middle of the class when you tell people to grab, the short black cables or the long black cables. So I recommend to keep the color separation. That way you know exactly where the cables are. The long black cables and the short red cables are the same length whether you have an Evo machine or a megaformer machine, right? So here we have the Evo 1, and over here on my right we have the M3K. Whether you have an M3, an M3S, an M3K, an M3X, an M3E, it's going to be the same setup. You're going to need the long black cables and the short red cables. Now, we have two types of long black cables and we have two types of short red cables, and this is really why I'm doing this video. So over here, I essentially have two long black cables that I'm going to show you. I apologize about my mess. We have the classic black cables, and then here we have the new black cables. And the only difference is not the length, it's not how to use them. They use exactly the same way. They're attached exactly the same way. The only difference is the end of the cable. So one has a carabiner clipper, this one doesn't. So because of this different attachment, when you order the classic black cables, you're going to have to order these foot strap with the D-ring, okay? Because you're going to fit basically the D-ring inside the clipper. If you like your ankle strap, you can put your ankle strap, and you can also have a handle if you want to, and attach it. So you can have actually both accessories. You can also add the rope if you wanted to. You could literally have, three if you wanted to during the workout. When you order the new black cables, you cannot obviously put the D-ring. So we have a new foot strap, and it's this one. It has a loop. You're going to put the loop inside this, the metal part. There you go. So you're going to put the loop through it, and then essentially you're going to attach the foot strap. It's going to go through it like this. And then you have it. These are the new foot strap with the new cables, the black cables. And these are the classic foot straps with the classic cables. Now we have more machines coming out. We have the Micro, we have the Mini, we have the Mini Pro. I don't know if you saw, we also have the door mounts. So we're creating more accessories to attach either to the bungee, to the springs, or to the cable. To give you an example, if you ever wanted to mount the new Lagree Fitness rope on your cables, which is great when you do, for example, a tricep kickback. I just love the option of grabbing that rope with all the fingers. This is very good for your wrist, for your elbow mobility. You will not be able to attach this on the new black cable. So with that attachment, that little square metal, you will not fit this. We also have the new ankle strap. Same thing. Those have a D-ring. The D-ring will not fit on these new cables. The new red cable as well. The new red cables have the same attachment. We have new handles. Now we have new Lagree handles we're just making. These are awesome. Again, they're coming with a D-ring. So if you want to have these handles, if you want to have these ankle straps, if you want to attach the rope, you will not be able to attach this on the new short red cables or on the new long black cables. You will only be able to attach these on the classic. I want to show you quickly how to attach the cables on your machine, because I think there's been a little bit of confusion about this. The way you attach the cables is actually very simple. And again, it's going to be the same way whether you have an M3, an M3S, an M3K, an M3X. The only difference for the Evo, for example, is really the location of the pulley themselves. The pulleys are going to be just under the handles versus on the M3K, where the pulleys are actually on the handle itself. And that's really the only difference. So this is how you install the cables on the Megaformer. The long black cables are going to attach on the carriage. You're going to clip them at any holes over here on the carriage. The difference of the holes is basically to make up, sometimes some cables might feel a little shorter or not as long. Then you can adjust the length by placing the cable in a different hole. The cable is going to run all the way through the pulleys over here. The pulley is attached to the handle, and then it's going to go back to the carriage. So the long black cable is going to be used for any exercise that you do with the carriage. Then you're going to attach the short rod cables. Short rod cables, again, you can attach the short rod cables any point you want on the carriage. The red cable is then going to be attached right here on the last leg of the Megaformer. And then here you have your red handle to go with the red cable. And then you can rest your red handle either on the grenade handle or on the platform strap if you want to. And that's how you do the setup for the cables for the Megaformer. And that's with the M3, M3S, M3K, M3X, M3E. Okay? Same thing. Now let's go on the Evo over here. All right, so now here's how to install the cables for the Evo. The Evo is same thing. You have your little holes over here. You can select which one you want to attach the cables. I recommend to attach your cable the same hole on the other side. Then your pulleys for the long black cables are going to be located under the handle. So this is where you put the pulley. And then that foot strap is going to go back and attach itself on the carriage over here. Then you have your red cable, and your red cable is going to attach exactly the same way as for the Megaformer, because the Evo is based on the M3 frame. So over here you recognize it's going to be the same. I recommend to select that hole at the bottom, not this one, because this will give you more clearance for the cable. And then again, you have your red handles, and you can put your red handles right on top of the handlebar on the platform. And that's how you install the cables on the Evo. Now keep in mind that some studios have all black cables or all red or a different color, okay? But the length is the same for the long cables, and the length is the same for the short cables. If you have any questions, please email us at info@lagreefitness.com.